Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddham, buddham, buddham vande. Dhammang, dhammang, dhammang vande. Sangham, sangham, sangham vande. Buddham, dhammang, sangham vande. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dhamma, homage to the Sangha, homage to the Triple Gem. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in Dhamma, here today we are going to discuss one of the discourses in Buddhism which comes in Samyutta Nikaya. It means Makkata Sutta. Makkata in Pali language means monkey. The monkey mind. And before we are going to discuss this discourse, I would like to explain the gradual path in Buddhism. As we always mention you that Buddhist path is like the ocean. Ocean deepens gradually. The Buddha's teachings are also like that. Buddha says very clearly, Naham bhikkhave adhikeneva anyārādhanam vadāmi. In Pali language, Buddha says, I don't explain the deep concept, that impermanence or wisdom at the beginning on the path of liberation. That is why Buddha says, when he explains his message, it has a gradual path, like Dāna Katha, Sīla Katha, Sagga Katha, like that. The stories of generosity, the stories of virtue, the stories of heaven. First of all, Buddha explains these things. When the audience listening to this primary teachings in Buddhism, then their mind gradually concentrates. Then Buddha explained the deep concept in Buddhism, such as the dependent origination, Four Noble Truths, the three characteristics. Those are the deep concepts in Buddhism. And also Buddha says, listening to Dhamma is one of the places or entrances of liberation, Vimuttayatana. There are 5 liberation entrances. There are 5 Vimuttayatana. Vimuttayatana means the entrances of liberation. Listening to Dhamma is entrances of liberation. And preaching Dhamma is also one of the entrances of liberation. And Buddha says, discussing Dhamma also an entrance of liberation. And also chanting or reciting the Dhamma is also one of the places or entrances of liberation. Finally, Buddha says, meditation. Meditation is one of the techniques, one of the places where we enter the liberation. There are 5 places, entrances, doors where we enter the liberation. Among them, listening to Dhamma also one of them. That is why a lot of devotees, a lot of disciples of the Buddha, when Buddha appeared in the world, they attained enlightenment while they were listening to the Dhamma. We usually think that people attain enlightenment when they close their eyes. No, they attained enlightenment while they are opening their eyes. That's why Buddha says, listening to Dhamma also one of the places where we enter the liberation. And here, I would like to explain the gradual path in Buddhism. You know, when some people listening to Buddha's message, they don't believe their past lives and their future lives. Buddha didn't effort to change their ideas. Buddha didn't try to change their views at the beginning. Even though they don't believe their past or future, everyone believes this life, this present life. This present life is believed, accepted by everyone. Therefore, Buddha explains how we succeed in this immediate life. There are a lot of teachings that Buddha explains how we succeed in this present life. One day, one of householders came and asked the Buddha, "Dear Reverend Bhante, please explain what I should do to succeed in this life. And also please explain something what I have to do to succeed hereafter, next life." Here Buddha explained the very primary things that we have to practice. Here it is very important to understand there are 5 things, 5 areas that we should fulfill to succeed in this immediate life. I always explain it. I think you can remember. But there, here in the first level, education and economy, health, moral life, and Kalyan Mitra, associating good friends. We again and again explain the gradual path. The reason is that you should remember it. Until you completely remember, I repeat it. And education. There are a lot of teachings in Buddhism, especially Buddha explains the duties of parents. When you feed your children, one of your duties is that giving good education to your children. Sippan sikkapenti. That is very important. Knowledge is wealth. Knowledge is very important. According to our education, we have to earn money. We should succeed our financial life. That is very important. Then health. Health is very important. If we are unhealthy, everything that we earned is useless. Therefore, Buddha always emphasizes the importance of having a good health, not only physical health, but we should have a mental health too. Both of them are very important. Next, Buddha says moral life. Even though we were born alone, even though we will die alone, we have to live in the society with many people. There we should need a moral life, virtuous life. That is why Buddhism has explained the importance of having a moral life, that Panchasila Patipatti, 5 precepts, abstaining from killing beings, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from telling lies, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. These are the primary human qualities. If we have these qualities, it means you are honored, you are respected in this society. That is very important to go forward in this society. And also having good friends. Your friendship decides whether you go to wrong way or correct way. That is very important. One day, a Buddha's disciples, Ananda, says that, "Bhante, Gautama, I think something that half of the success of our life depends on Kalyana Mitra, or having good friends." What did Buddha say? Buddha says, don't say Ananda like that, don't say Ananda. Our entire life, the success of our entire life depends on associating good friends. That is very important. These 5 areas are very important when we are going to succeed in this immediate life. the more you have achieved these qualities, the more you have succeeded your present life. When we go to the deeper level, little by little, the second level is that now we start our spiritual life. Here, when we come to the next level, we believe, we trust in the karmic law. Karmic law. Whatever we do with intention, we will have the same result. Whatever we do, physically, verbally or mentally, according to our present mental condition, we will have good or bad results. When our mind is polluted, our actions are wrong, then results are negative. And also, when our mind is pure and calm, the results are fruitful. It means in Buddhism, wide results. Buddha says, Atti bhikkhave kamman sukkhaṃ sukha vipākaṃ. There are some actions which are wide, that consequence wide results. With a pure mind, if we do something physically, verbally or mentally, we will have fruitful results, good results, meritorious results. And with this understanding, with the understanding of the karmic law, we practice 3 meritorious deeds as much as we can. What are the 3 meritorious deeds that Buddha has explained? Yes, dana or generosity, sila, virtue, and bhavana, meditation. These 3 things are very important. Buddha says, the more we practice meritorious deeds, the more we gain happiness. Generosity means offering something to others, sharing something with others. Buddha says, if you know the result of practicing generosity, like me, you never eat something without offering something to nearby you. Buddha says very clearly, if you know the result of practicing generosity, you never eat anything without offering something to nearby you. That is very important. That is why especially Asian country people, in the morning, they offer something to others. Especially they are wishing to offer something to Mahasangha. Like, in Myanmar and Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, the people, they are generous. They are ready to offer something to others. Especially they are wishing to meet a monk to offer something in the morning. Following this path. The second one is sila. Sila means discipline in our speech and behavior. If we have these virtues, then we can overcome a lot of problems in our social life, especially practicing 5 precepts. Then bhavana. Bhavana means, especially, according to Buddhism, there are 40 meditation techniques. Among them, practicing loving kindness is very important. Buddha says, if someone can concentrate his mind in the present moment with the positive thoughts, that happiness is better than entire human life and 6 heavens. Whenever our mind is in samadhi or samatha or concentrated, the happiness at the moment that we have is better than all happinesses in this human life and human realm and heaven realm. At the moment our mind is in the Brahma realm. Even though physically we are in the human realm, mentally we have overcome human realm and even heaven realm. At the moment we are in the Brahma realm at the moment with the jhanas. That is why if we want to see the beauty of our life, if we want to see the beauty of our mind, we have to concentrate our mind by practicing some meditation techniques. If we want to respect our life, if we want to give the value to our mind, we have to concentrate our mind with a positive thought such as loving kindness, breathing meditation, and compassion, contemplating on the qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. There are meditation techniques. And in this level, as we mentioned before, we are in the white actions. Buddha says, there are some actions which are white, that consequence, white results. If we do something with pure mind, without greed and anger, at the moment our mind is white. At the moment our mind is very pure and calm. As the result of keeping our mind in pleasant and calmness, that we receive a lot of benefits, results in this life, such as longevity, good complexion, good health, good friends. Those are the results we receive throughout practicing this path. Not only that, we can reduce some negative results of our previous bad karmas as the result of powerful mind, spiritual, strong mind. Even though we keep our mind in this present moment positively, in this level there are some challenges that we are unable to overcome. What they are? Buddha says there are 3 reasons why we need to find a spiritual teacher, and also why we need to follow a path or teaching of the Buddha. What they are? Yes, aging or old age, and death and rebirth. These are the main challenges which in front of us. Aging or decay, death and rebirth. That is why we need a spiritual path, and also we need a spiritual teacher. From time to time, there are some teachers who appear in this world who introduce the karmic law and the heavenly path, how we make a blissful life hereafter. It is common, it is not a special thing. But a Buddha appears in this world to point out to this path, that is the deliverance path, the 3rd level. When we are going to this level, we should have a very special knowledge, understanding, comprehension. What is that? Yes, the dependent origination. We should need a very special understanding when we come to this level, that is the dependent origination or dependent arising, the cause and effect, causality, paticcasamuppada or hetukala dhamma. This is the unique in Buddhism. This is the thing that we have to listen into again and again. And what is that? Everything that we have, our 6 internal senses and 6 external objects, they are impermanent. They arise and cease at the moment. In this level, we haven't overcome the ignorance. What is the ignorance? Ignorance or delusion can be divided into 2. One of them is some people don't believe anything. They don't believe karmic cause. We say it in Pali language, micca ditti, niyaca micca ditti. They have completely wrong in the point of view. and they don't believe the karmic law. In this level, we have overcome that misunderstanding. Although we have overcome the misunderstanding of the karmic law, but still we have an ignorance or delusion. What is that? Still we have a delusion in this level. What is that? We think that before we experience something, there was something. After we experience, they remain. You think that before you came here, there was a temple here. Even though you leave this temple, the temple remains. That is true in this level, but when we go to the next level, absolute truth, it is not true. We create the world at the moment. We don't have anything which are ready-made. We create everything from moment to moment, according to our present mental condition. Now you think that these are natural flowers. It is true. Sometimes you touch it, you may understand that these are not natural flowers. They are artificial. Like that. Our understanding is different from moment to moment. Now you are very pleasant with me. However, if I blame you, suddenly your mind changes. According to your mind, your senses, especially your eye changes. Then, when you look at me, you may get angry. You are not pleasant. Like that, every moment we create our senses according to our present mental condition. Now you can see only the human beings who are here. When your mind changes, your mind, your consciousness, your delusion, your karmic force change. Immediately your senses change. Then you can see other beings too, like God here. Like that. Whatever we see at the moment is not true. It is true only our world at the moment. When our mind changes, automatically at the moment our senses change, then our experience also changes. Now we can see only this wall. We are unable to look at through this wall according to our present mental condition. If our mind changes, sometimes we can see through the wall. That is the truth of this level. But in this level we think that whatever we experience, something can be researched by everyone at the same way. It is not true. Sometimes some scientists, they divide atoms and they may say that atom can be divided by everyone in the lab and everyone can experience the same way. That atom is related to that person. When our mind changes, sometimes we are unable to. We can see some atoms. We can see some material things. Material things depends on our mind, our present mental situation. This is the truth that we are going to understand in this level. If we can understand this reality in this level, we are going to realize this reality in first, we listening to this message, finally, we are going to experience this teaching by practicing the path, the Four Noble Truths. Understanding the dependent origination leads us to practice three siksha or sila, samadhi, panya. Virtue, sila, samadhi, concentration, and panya, wisdom. With details, Four Noble Truths or fourfold mindfulness. Understanding the dependent origination, eightfold path, and fourfold mindfulness are interrelated. Understanding dependent origination and fourfold mindfulness and eightfold path. These three things are interrelated. The topic that we are going to today discuss is that Makkata Sutta. Makkata means monkey. There are some monkeys who are in the Himalayas, the king of mountains in India. And first of all, I would like to read this discourse from beginning to end. Bhikkhus, mendicants or disciples, Buddha announced his disciples. In the Himalayas, the king of mountains, there are rugged and uneven zones where neither monkeys nor human beings are able to go. There are rugged and uneven zones where monkeys can go but not human beings. There are even and delightful regions where both monkeys and human beings are able to go. There alone the monkey trails hunters set out traps of pigs for catching monkeys. There are three types of mountains in the Himalayas. There are some mountains neither monkeys nor human beings are able to go. There are some mountains that monkeys can go but human beings are unable to go. There are some mountains that both monkeys and human beings are able to go. Those monkeys are not foolish and playful. When they see the pitch, avoid it from afar. But a monkey who is foolish and playful approaches the pitch and seizes it with his hand. He gets caught there. And thinking, I will free my hand, he seizes it with his other hand. He gets caught there. Again, thinking, I will free both hands, he seizes it with his foot. He gets caught there. And again, he thinking, I will free both hands and my foot. He seizes it with his other foot. He gets caught there. Finally, he's thinking, I will free both hands and feet. He applies his muscle to it. He gets caught there. His hands, legs, muscle, everything are bound. Thus, bhikkhus, mendicants, Buddha announced his disciples that monkey, trapped at 5 points, lies there screeching. He has met with calamity and disaster, and the hunter can do with him as he wishes. The hunter spears him, fastens him to that same block of wood, and goes off where he wants. So it is bhikkhus, when one strays outside one's own resort into the domain of others. Therefore, bhikkhus, don't stray outside your own resort into the domain of others. Mara will gain access to those who stray outside their own resort into the domain of others. Mara will get a hold on them. and what is not a bhikkhu's own resort, but the domain of others. It is 5 chords of sensual pleasure. What 5? Sights known by the eye, sounds known by the ear, smells known by the nose, and taste known by the tongue, and touches known by the body, that are likable, desirable, agreeable, pleasant, sensual, and arousing. This is not a mendicant's own resort, territory, but the domain of others. Whenever we depend on our 5 senses, it means we are in the field of the Mara. We are there. Whatever we see, if our mind is fixed in outside, it means we are in the hand of the Mara. He can handle us. He can control us at the moment. As soon as we experience something through our 6 senses, if we are able to look at inside, then we are away from the Mara. We are our own resort at the moment. And then Buddha says, move in your own resort, because in your own ancestral domain, Mara will not gain access to those who move in their own resort. In their own ancestral domain, Mara will not get a hold on them. And what is a bhikkhu's resort? His own ancestral domain. It is the 4 establishments of mindfulness. What they are here, bhikkhus. A bhikkhu dwells contemplating the body in the body, contemplating feelings in feelings, and contemplating mind in mind, contemplating phenomena in phenomena, ardent, clearly, and comprehending, mindful, having removed covetousness and displeasure in regard to the world. This is the bhikkhu's resource, his own ancestral domain. Buddha says, whenever we are practicing mindfulness, the contemplating on body, feelings, consciousness, and phenomena or mental formations, at the moment we are in the field of the Buddha, then Mara is unable to control us. That is the real territory that we should be in. And Buddha says, whenever we are unmindful, at the moment we are dependent on what we see, what we hear, what we smell. Then anything or anyone who are outside can control us. When they change, our mental situation also immediately changes. If we need a freedom or liberation, we should practice mindfulness. When we practice mindfulness, as soon as we experience something outside, we immediately look at inside. The ordinary people look at outside when they experience something. We immediately look at inside at the moment. What happens to my mind? When you look at something outside, you can realize, you can identify something outside, but you understand that that is made at the moment according to your present mental condition. This is the natural flower at the moment according to your present mental condition. If you think this is an artificial flower, then immediately your mind changes, your senses change. Like that, Buddha emphasizes the importance of practicing mindfulness here. And it is very important to understand mindfulness completely. In the present society, mindfulness is demanded in the highest price. Everywhere you can buy mindfulness. But it is very important to understand the real meaning of mindfulness, what Buddha explained. As soon as you listen to mindfulness, you may think that living in the present moment and forgetting your past and future. You usually listening to that, those who say like, forget your past, forget your future, live in the present moment, then you can overcome your stress. That is the advice that they give us, but that is not the Buddha's advice. Buddha never says us to forget our past or future. Forgetting is a big mistake. When we develop our mindfulness, the more you practice mindfulness, the more your memory increases. Memory is not the problem. Problem is delusion. When we think something which happened in the past, if our mind suddenly goes to the past and if our mind is fixed in the previous experience, that is the cause of suffering. But memory is not the fault. Even Arhantas, even Buddhas can remember their past lives. Some, experienced people can remember their time period where they are in their mother's womb. Not only that, Arhantas can remember their 500 previous eons. 500 eons in the past. That is for Arhantas. How about for the Buddha? Buddha has no limit. He can remember anything which happened in the past. Suddenly, directly, he can remember anything which happened more than millions of eons. Memory is not the fault. If we focus some flash, we can focus our flash everywhere, holding it in our hand. It is our hand. We are aware of that flash is in my hand. But if we throw the flash to somewhere, that is the problem. By holding the flash in our hand, we can focus everywhere. Then we can see everywhere, but we are aware of that I am sitting here. Like that. Living in the present moment, with the awareness of the present moment, we can remember anything which happened in the past, which will be happening in the future. But we are completely mindful that we are living in the present moment. Then we have no problems. We can remember anything. When we are going to learn mindfulness in Buddhism, there are 3 steps that we have to understand. As a Buddha's disciple, we have to understand 3 levels of mindfulness. They are mindfulness, mindful meditation, the path that leads to mindful meditation. Mindfulness, mindful meditation, and the path that leads to mindful meditation. Satipatthana, Satipatthana Bhavana, and Satipatthana Bhavana Gamini Patipada. These 3 things are interrelated. Mindfulness, mindful meditation, the path that leads to mindful meditation. These 3 things are very important. But usually people who teach mindfulness know only mindfulness. unfortunately, even Buddhists know only mindfulness. But you should know these 3 steps, 3 levels. Mindfulness means the awareness of our body, feelings, consciousness and mental formations. That is mindfulness. Mindful meditation means not only we keep our attention in these 4 areas, but we reflect on impermanence, arising and ceasing of these 4 things. Not only we are aware of our physical body, but we think of arising and ceasing of our body and the causes of our body and mind. Not only we are aware of our feelings, but we reflect on arising and ceasing of our feelings and the causes of feelings. Not only keep our attention in consciousness, but we contemplate on arising and ceasing of our consciousness. And we are aware of that, the causes of consciousness. And also not only we contemplate on mental formations, but we reflect on arising and ceasing of mental formations. That is the Vipassana Bhavana. Mindfulness is Samatha Bhavana. Mindful meditation is Vipassana Bhavana. As Buddha said, Kaya Kayanupassī Viharati, Vedanāsu Vedananupassī Viharati, Chitte Chittanupassī Viharati, Dhammesu Dhammanupassī Viharati. This is concentration meditation or Samatha Bhavana. And also Buddha says, Samudaya Dhammanupassī Viharati, Vaya Dhammanupassī Viharati. We are living, contemplating on arising and ceasing of our body and mind. That is Vipassana Bhavana, inside meditation. Both of them are in the same sutta. Always Buddha says that when mind is in samatha or samadhi or concentrated, we are able to reflect on impermanence or reality. Samahito bhikkhave yatha bhutam pajanati. When mind is concentrated, we reflect on impermanence immediately. Why is that? We started this journey with the understanding of the dependent origination. We don't stop in samatha. One day, Buddha, some disciples went to other religious people's monastery. When they went there, they asked those disciples that, Bhante, we also practice loving kindness meditation. We practice jhanas. Your master, the Gautama Buddha, also teaches you the same thing, loving kindness and concentration. So both of us are same. At the moment, those monks hadn't an answer. They were silent. They came back to the Buddha and they asked the Buddha. At the moment, Buddha says, in this present level, in the second level, in this level, we are same. But we practice loving kindness focusing on Nibbana or enlightenment. We don't stop in concentration. We practice concentration or samatha, focusing on Vipassana or inside meditation. Their final destination is samatha, but Buddhist final destination is not in samatha. Samatha is only the middle thing. As soon as mind is in samatha, we reflect on impermanence, arising and ceasing. Samatha is not the final destination of Buddhists. We practice samatha only as a help for our inside meditation. That is the difference in samatha between the dispensation of the Buddha and other religions. Like that, in Satipatthana Sutta, Buddha emphasizes how we practice insight meditation when we practice mindfulness. It comes in mindful meditation. Not only that, Buddha says, the path that leads to mindful meditation, the eightfold path, Arya Attangika Magga. Samadhi, right understanding, Samma Sankappa, right intention, Samma Vaca, right speech, Samma Kammanta, right action, Samma Ajiva, right livelihood, Samma Vayama, right effort, Samma Sati, right mindfulness, and Samma Samadhi, right concentration. This is the eightfold path. When these 8 things are fulfilled, then other 2 things come gradually to our life, that Samma Jnana and Samma Vimukti, right knowledge and right liberation. Those are the results of practicing eightfold path. We don't need to practice other 2 things. As the result of practicing eightfold path, other 2 things are bonus that we receive. They immediately come to our life. I would like to explain here mindfulness in short. Buddha emphasizes the importance of practicing mindfulness. Buddha says, Ekayano bhikkhave maggo satthana visuddhya. This is one and only path for the purification of beings. Soka pariddavanam samatikkamaya, for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation. Dukkha domanassanam attangamaya, for the destruction of pain and grief. Nyaya sadhigamaya, for the gaining of wisdom. Nibbana sachi kiriyaya, for the attaining of nibbana, enlightenment. Yadidan chattaro satipatthana, which is practicing the fourfold mindfulnesses. There are a lot of words that Buddha has appreciated practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the best friend in our life. Whenever we are unhappy, whenever we are suffering, it means we are not in mindfulness. Whenever we are away from mindfulness, anybody or anything can control us at the moment. Anyone or anything can disturb our peace of mind. Day by day, we try to increase the duration of living in mindfulness. That is the real success in our life. Buddha says, if you have an understanding about the mindfulness, if you have a close friend or relative, if he or she is ready to listen to what you say, you have to introduce this path. But that person should be ready to listen to what you say. This is like counseling. We are unable to give counseling without clients like that. If somebody is familiar with us, or if he or she is ready to listen to us, we should explain these things to them, because this is the path to overcome suffering. Even though we are happy at the moment, we are getting ready to cry or suffer anything in the future. Without practicing mindfulness, we can never overcome those challenges. If we have close friends and relatives, it means we have to suffer one day. Even though we don't have children or friends, if we have our own body, physical body, it means we have to cry someday if we don't practice mindfulness. That is why Buddha always emphasizes the importance of practicing mindfulness. That is why Buddha says, Atta Deepa Bhikkhave Viharatata Sarana Nanya Sarana. Dwell with yourself as an island, as a refuge with no other refuge. How we make a refuge? Living in mindfulness. Living in mindfulness is the real path to make a refuge, safety, security, insurance in our life. For that, we should know how we practice mindfulness in 4 areas. According to Buddhism, in short, we can be aware of our body and mind. With details, we should practice it in 4 areas: the contemplating on body, the contemplation of sensation, the contemplation of mind, the contemplation of mind objects or phenomena. First, Buddha explains how we practice the contemplation of body. It has explained in 6 areas. First one is breathing meditation, mindfulness of breathing in and out. We breathe in and out mindfully, and we concentrate our mind in breathing in and out. Not only that, mind is concentrated in breathing meditation, we reflect on impermanence. This breath is not my, me, myself. Here, by practicing contemplation of body, we are going to understand our physical body. How our physical body arises and ceases. Our breathing depends on our physical body. When we concentrate our mind in breathing in and out, little by little we realize what happens to our body. When we breathe in and out, our life starts and immediately it ceases. Again and again we have a new life. And also that breathing is impermanent. Every moment that breathing changes, arises with the conditions, then immediately it ceases when conditions cease. Then we realize that this breathing is Netham mama, neso hamasmi, nameso atta. This breathing is not mine, me, myself. Next, we contemplate on that mindfulness of the 4 postures: walking, standing, sitting, and lying down. These are the 4 postures that we have every moment. We think that I am sitting, I am standing, I am walking, I am lying down. But this is only a process as the result of our mind. When we contemplate on these 4 postures, when our mind is concentrated, we understand Netham mama, neso hamasmi, nameso atta. These 4 postures are not mine, me, myself. Little by little we attack with our self-view, sakkaya. We break our sakkaya with your self-view or own view. Next, mindfulness of clear awareness, sampajanya. Whatever we do from morning to night, eating, sitting down, working, sleeping, anything, whatever we do everything mindfully. When we walk, we think that I am walking. When we eat, we know that I am eating at the moment. Keeping our attention in this area, we do everything with awareness. It means that we don't think of past or future. We can do it in the other step. Contemplating on mind, we do it. But here we are contemplating on our physical body. We have lost our beauty of our life because of no attention in the present moment. If we want to see the beauty of our life, we should be aware of our body and mind. Then we can see the beauty of our physical body. We can see the beauty of our environment at home. And also we can see the beauty of our plants of our garden. We have no enough time to see even our garden. When we drive, we are unable to, we can't see the beauty of our vehicle, even our vehicle. We are thinking something outside. We have bought a very luxurious, very valuable vehicle, but we don't look at it. When we go on the street, there are a lot of plants and flowers around the street. They are planted by the city, spending a lot of money for us. They are waiting to say hi, but we don't have enough time to see them because of no mindfulness. And now here, this meditation invites us to see the beauty of our life. Whatever we do everything mindful. And next, mindfulness of repulsive parts of the body, the impurity of our body parts. Even though we think that is a very beautiful thing, that our body, when we classify, when we divide the parts of our body, we can understand there is nothing that we can get as pleasant or beautiful. We separate everything one by one, mentally, not physically. Mentally, we divide everything one by one. We remove our hair, we remove our teeth, one by one we remove. Then we can understand who we are. Then we understand these body parts depend on our mind. This is only a process. These are not mine, me or myself. And next, we are going to contemplate on 4 elements. There are 4 elements which consist with our body. They are Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. Earth element, water element, fire element, air element. Solidity, liquidity, heat and motion. These are the things which consist with our body. We divide everything mentally. Then we understand this is only a process. These are not mine, me or myself. We understand arising and ceasing of these 4 fundamental elements, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. And finally, we contemplate on the 9-channel ground. When we die, after our body is buried in the cemetery, what happens to our physical body? Little by little, it is going to decay, and finally it becomes the dust. And this body is not a permanent thing, or it doesn't belong to anyone. it is only a process of the mind. Then finally we realize that this body is not me, mind, myself. Nesan mama, neso hamasmi, nameswata. Then we have overcome the physical body. We don't depend on physical body. It doesn't mean that we don't respond to others. Actually, we are familiar with others. We are more kind than before. But we don't depend on this physical body. And next, the contemplation of feelings. We have pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, neutral feelings. We understand these feelings as impermanent. These feelings change every moment. Now you are happy when we look at this environment. When we look at some unpleasant thing, suddenly your feelings change. Then you are unpleasant. You feel unpleasant feelings. And we get feelings through our six senses. Eye conscious feelings, ear conscious feelings, like that. There are six senses that we receive feelings. That those feelings may be pleasant, unpleasant or neutral. They are not permanent. They arise with the conditions at the moment, they immediately cease. If you have some sickness in your body, that arises even only when you think it. If you are suffering just now, thinking your sickness, when someone makes a joke, suddenly you are happy. Then you have a pleasant feeling. Even though you are driving in a very luxurious, very valuable vehicle, having a lot of facilities, if you are angry with someone, then you don't feel the pleasant happiness, pleasant feeling, because of the polluted mind, because of anger. Like that, every moment these feelings change. Then we understand these feelings are not mine, me, myself. We see these feelings as a process of mind. They are not permanent. Then we don't get they as mine, me or myself. Then contemplation of mind or consciousness. The present moment. When our mind is lustful, we understand now my mind is lustful. When my mind is not lustful, I understand that my mind is not lustful. When my mind is angry, we know very well now I have anger in my mind. We are like the seekers here in this situation, in this state. We don't challenge those ideas. We are only seekers. When our mind is pleasant, we understand our mind is pleasant, and also we understand the impermanence of the present consciousness. Then we see this mind only a process. This doesn't belong to anyone. This is not mine, me or myself. Finally, we contemplate on mental objects or phenomena, that we understand five hindrances, panchanivarana, such as ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and scruples, skeptical doubt. These are five hindrances, panchanivarana, five negative emotions in our mind. When those negative thoughts are in our mind, we really understand at the moment I have these negative thoughts. Then in this level, we fight with them. We don't give them chance to live in our mind. We remove them. We avoid them with using some techniques. And also we contemplate on five aggregates. Rupa, forms, Vedana, feelings, Sanya, perception, Sankhara, mental formations, Vijnana, consciousness. These 5 things arise together, cease together. Now we see very clearly every moment 5 aggregates, 5 skandhas arise and cease. We contemplate on impermanence in this level. And little by little we go to the deeper level. Now in this level we contemplate on our 6 senses and 6 objects and 6 consciousnesses. Then we see everything as impermanent. Then our mind is not fixed anywhere or anything. Now we are rich in our spirituality. In this level we are so strong. We have practiced Kayanupassana, contemplating on body, contemplating on feelings, Vedanupassana, contemplating on consciousness, Chittanupassana. Now we have overcome. We have practiced again and again. They are not mine, me or myself. When we come to this level, we are rich in our spiritual strength. When we come to this level, we see only impermanence. We live completely in the present moment, reflecting on impermanence. Everything that we experience are not ready-made. We make everything at the moment. This flower is at the moment. This bird we create at the moment. When we think something, our entire life is that at the moment. When you think your youngest son, your entire life is your youngest son. When you think your daughter, your entire life is your daughter at the moment. You don't have even your physical body. When you think your mom, your entire life is your mom at the moment. At the moment you have nothing. We have only one thing at the moment, then others don't belong to you. In the conventional truth, you have a lot of things. You can remember a lot of things. But when you go to the absolute truth in the supramundane level, you have only seen whatever you think at the moment. That is also not permanent. That also arises with the conditions. That present thought doesn't belong to any condition. This sound arises because of these fingers, my effort, my ears, air, and my consciousness. But this sound doesn't belong to any reason. Like that, our entire experience also like that. Because of reasons, experience arises, but the experience doesn't belong to anything. This is the absolute truth, ultimate truth. When we have this understanding, we have nobody to blame. We have nothing to criticize. If we criticize something, it means we criticize our mind. And with this understanding now, we are rich in the 7 enlightenment factors. Sati Sambojjhanga, the enlightenment factors of mindfulness, Dhammavijaya, keen investigation, Virya, effort, Passaddhi, Samadhi, Upekha, like that. There are 7 enlightenment factors. In this level, we contemplate on these enlightenment factors. Now, these are our wealth, our properties. Before we come to this level, we have a lot of things which are very valuable. Our children, our vehicles, our home, our land, those are the very valuable things. Before we come to this level, now our entire life, our valuable things, our gems, diamonds are like, 7 enlightenment factors. Other things also we have, but we don't give a value to them. And these are our properties, our dowry, our wealth, our properties. And then we understand again. First, we understand the Four Noble Truths by listening to others. Here, we experience by our own understanding the Four Noble Truths. Suffering. If we don't have this understanding, we have to attachment. And also, if we have this understanding, that is the cessation of suffering. Practicing the Four Noble Truths is the path that leads to getting rid of suffering. Is fourth one, Four Noble Truths. Now we realize the Four Noble Truths as which is in our own hand. And finally, we see the present thought arising and ceasing. Ultimately, we have to realize only arising and ceasing of our present thought. That present thought is not alone. It consists with other four things like, five aggregates. Whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we taste, whatever we smell, whatever we touch, whatever we remember, it means five aggregates together arise at the moment with the conditions. They immediately cease when conditions cease. If you can realize this reality one day, it means it is better than who are living 100 years unknowing this reality. This is the way how you increase your age. One day, if you reflect and practice this reality, it means you have added 100 years to your life. If you believe in the Buddha. Yojivasa satanjīvi apasan dhammamuttamam ekahan jīvitan seyo passato dhammamuttamam. He who lives 100 years without seeing this reality is not better, not good. He who sees this reality at least one day is better than who lives 100 years without seeing this reality. This is the path how we increase the value of our life. This is the path how we overcome suffering. That is the path how we attain the real liberation, freedom in our life. We were born to realize this reality in this time, in this world. That is why you are living near Pasadena. Thank you so much. If you have any question, you can ask. Actually, Hindus have no vipassana, according to my point of view. Vipassana, vipassana both are same. Vipassana in Pali language, vipassana in Sanskrit language. And they have samatha. They concentrate their mind with, some positive thoughts, such as reciting some mantras like Om, contemplating on their God, contemplating on some positive thoughts such as loving kindness. They can concentrate their mind. They can keep in samatha for a long time, but they don't reflect on impermanence. They don't reflect on impermanence. They are wishing a permanent, blissful heaven, which are forever, everlasting heaven. Okay, thank you for your good attention. As the result of listening to and practicing Dhamma, may you be well, happy and peaceful. And by the power of all these meritorious deeds, may our departed relatives also receive these meritorious thoughts. With that intention, let's share these merits with our departed relatives, reciting the Gatha. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo Idamme ñātīnaṃ hotu sukitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṃ hotu sukitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these meritorious deeds, may guardian deities and angels also receive this spiritual energy. May they enhance their divine energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with guardian deities and angels. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu desanam. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu tvaṃ sadā. By the power of all these meritorious deeds, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no problems come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantā ca nindukkhā, bhayam pantā ca nimbhayā, sokam pantā ca nissokā, hontu sambe pipānino. And the people then